Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta. Do you think I could actually say my name without giggling one of these times?
Maybe. I wouldn't bet a mortgage payment on it, but...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How's it going, Brandon?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah? We're recording on Saturday, so how's your Saturday going?
Most excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the preferred days of the week.
Concur.
For myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the weather was nice today. Not that it mattered because I was hiding in my basement.
Yep. Why were you hiding in the basement?
Just playing computer games.
Yep. That's nice, though.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good relaxing time.
While we're on the subject of what you're up to, do you have a nerd thing this week?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm ready.
It actually has nothing to do with computer games.
I would have lost money on that bet.
Yeah, well, you've got a gambling habit with you.
I suppose.
These sorts of things. Anyway, no, I smoked a brisket for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
The weather was less nice then.
Yeah, that would have been a good day.
we fought through that, and brisket turned out pretty good.
So good. So good. Nom, nom, nom. Nom.
Yeah, so big fan of smoking the meats.
You were just taking some out to do tomorrow, too, weren't you?
Yeah, do some steaks. That's
taking advantage of the nice weather while we've got it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty nice September, actually, all things considered.
Well, the forecast is for an absolutely terrible winter here, so...
Very harsh and snowy and cold and...
Gross.
Yeah.
Terrible. So let's enjoy the fall while we can.
Yeah. So what about you? What's your nerdy thing? Are you nerdy?
I have two, but one is going to be like an ongoing nerd thing for the next, 3 weeks. So, my new book is coming out really soon. And so I've been doing, yay! So I've been, figuring out the promo stuff for that and all that kind of fun stuff. It's been fun, but, busy. So, yeah, that's good.
Have you considered walking down the main street of the downtown with a bell going, hear ye, hear ye?
It might work, actually.
I don't know, I'm spitballing here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, but that's going to be an ongoing nerd thing for the next few weeks till it actually comes out. And then it'll be, my new book is out and I'm promoting it or something like that, I'm sure.
Right. Then, what is your new book?
It is a collection of short stories, and they're all kind of a little spooky or eerie, and some are straight up horror, and some are not horror at all, but more like a drama, but maybe with a death in it or something. But yeah,
it's not exactly the same, but it's somewhat similar to a Stephen King short story collection.
Yeah, multi-genre, but yeah. And some short stories are microfiction, and some are actual short stories. And yeah, anyway, I was able to curate a collection of ones I had already written and then just edit and revise more. And then I only wrote about half of them new. So I'm very excited about it, though. And it's good for spooky season.
Spooky time.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun, and I'm really enjoying all that stuff right now. So
cool.
Yeah. So that's my one nerd thing, and so then my other nerd thing is
No, you only get one.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
It is officially the first day of fall tomorrow, and yesterday I baked pumpkin bread, and then today I took out all my sweaters, and I'm having just a lovely little... I'm very basic in terms of fall, and so I'm enjoying that.
I haven't had any pumpkin spice lattes
yet, but you sent me a thing, so I'm going to.
Yeah, there's a new place in town that does fancy ones, apparently.
Gonna have one. It's gonna happen.
Yay.
And, and that also, I don't know, it's Halloween, so Mickey told me it was Halloween in August. I'm just embracing it. I embrace the fall thing every year. I was basic before basic was basic, basically. So, basically, there we go. Yeah, I'm a basic hipster.
Okay.
So I'm enjoying that. It's my nerd things. And what are you drinking currently?
Oh, well, last week we talked about making homemade espresso martinis, but then they were all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saved one for this week's episode. So I'm having a homemade espresso martini.
And how is it?
Delicious.
Yeah, making you happy?
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
And we only had the one pot of coffee this morning, so I'm not quite as flying quite as high today.
You planned that a lot better because you specifically said when you're going to make another pie, you're like, no, wait. I want espresso martinis.
Yeah.
So, smart life choice. This is called being a grown-up. You're making smart life choices.
I drink a lot of caffeine, and it usually doesn't affect me too much. But yeah, last weekend I flew too close to the sun.
Okay, Daedalus.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Icarus is the one who ended up flying too close to the sun, but Daedalus made the ring. Anyway. I am drinking a rosé wine. That's the end of my story.
Yum.
Yeah, it is. It's really yum.
I had some of that yesterday. It was pretty good.
It's really tasty. Yeah. Oh, we have this is so exciting. Oh my gosh, this could have been my nerd thing. I was so excited about it. We have a new Marvel show to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Gut reaction, spoiler free, the first 2 episodes, because 2 episodes dropped, and actually we'll have 2 episodes to wrap up. So the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along. Brandon, spoiler free, what did you think?
No, you got to go first.
I'm so obsessed. It's not even funny. I love it so much. I just hope it doesn't drop the ball now, because I high expectations, but now I'm more nervous than anything, because I'm usually happy with the beginning of a show, and then it's it either gets meh or it falls apart. But I really, really, really like it so far.
The endings are almost always the worst part,
or the second last or something like that.
No, the second last can be pretty good because it sets up all the stakes for the climax. But a lot of the ending of these Disney Plus series have been pretty bad. Even you really like WandaVision.
Yeah.
I did not care for the last episode as much.
Oh.
It was like a C+ at best.
Oh no! That's just incorrect. But I will tell you, the second last episode of WandaVision, which does the previously on the trip down memory lane.
That's what I'm saying.
That one was better.
It's good.
Yeah, I'll give you that for sure. On that one, but I still like the second.
No, I agree. I liked it a lot. It has actually a bit more edge than I was expecting, so that's kind of interesting.
It has about so far it a little bit more. There's a couple I was like, oh, but it's about the level I was expecting, just in different ways. But I was expecting it to go for it, so
yeah. Well, then we'll see. The previews teased some horror. And
there were some legitimately scary moments, and it wasn't even supposed to be a scary episode. It was
So we'll see how that goes. So that's exciting.
I will say I am really enjoying witch stuff right now, and so this just feeds into it so much.
You're gonna go find your VHS copy of The Craft, and
literally I might. Can we watch The Craft tonight?
Put your black lipstick on.
I might. I'm gonna go find a witch hat.
Yeah.
So I also just read Practical Magic, the book. And I kind of want to watch the movie. They're very, very different. I watched the movie when it first, way back when, but so I was reading that, and then I'm watching Agatha, and I'm okay, I want all the witch stuff right now.
Yeah, and if you're big into witches, make sure you check out our last episode where we talked all about the Disney witches.
That was an amazing segue.
Yeah.
Or wait, callback. That wasn't a segue. It was a callback.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
Oh, but yes, I'm loving it, and I'm just so hopeful, and it's making me so happy.
Yeah, well, hopefully it continues.
You are so much less optimistic. Okay, let's head to the news. Disney A News Update. Okay, so turns out not a lot of news this week again.
Well, it's a little, yeah, it's Halloween is in full swing at Disneyland, and the one depressing thing I saw is they're starting to advertise their Christmas season already.
This is not starting to. I've been seeing these commercials for the last week.
Yeah, that's what I mean by
or 2 weeks.
Starting to.
2 weeks. We came back from Halloween and they started advertising Christmas. But I watch a lot of YouTube that would have more mellow, family focused stuff anyway, because I watch a lot of book stuff and cozy gaming stuff, and a lot of that has the Disney YouTube
Well,
ads.
you know where I saw the
Where?
Disneyland ad? It was actually on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now with the new World of Warcraft raid out, the really high professional gamers are racing to kill the highest level of difficulty,
okay.
and they play ads on that. And yeah, it was a Disneyland Christmas one, and I was like, "What in the heck is going on?"
Yeah, no, last couple of years, but I listened to a lot of Disney Dreamlight Valley lately, like those streamers and everything. So it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
it like clicks on the Disney.
It would.
Yeah.
It would go for that for sure.
For
yeah.
sure. But I mean that happens.
But anyway, so I totally derailed what my thought, but
okay.
Basically Halloween's in full swing, and then
Yes.
they're kind of gearing up for Christmas, but it's not quite full news cycle for Christmas yet.
No,
so,
it's kind of like and it should be on the back burner right now. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
the first day of fall is tomorrow.
We're only
Middle of
like
September.
2/3 of the way through September.
Exactly. But you know they have to, especially between Halloween and Christmas, because in Disneyland especially, that's their two biggest seasons now, right? So it's like as soon as one's done, they have to like jump right away. So
yeah, the timing is a little tight for them, but I feel like Disney's worse than the Starks, and it's like Christmas is coming.
But they were like, I can't do the Halloween is coming. They were like that in June.
Yeah, but Halloween, it's exciting for Halloween to be here.
It's exciting for Christmas to be here too. Yes, it is. You're more Halloween than Christmas person.
Oh, yes. So much.
Much
more.
I am more a Christmas than Halloween person, but I'm still like, I really like Halloween.
I don't dislike Christmas, but like it can be a 3-week thing.
Oh yeah,
it's fine for me. Whereas I could have Halloween for 6 months and I wouldn't bother me at all.
So I'm definitely.
It's probably to do with the music, actually.
Yes, I love Christmas music, which probably doesn't help you.
I like Christmas music
for like a week.
For like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so
tops.
We have a deal where if I start playing Christmas music, it has to be so you can't hear it unless it's after. Like Remembrance Day weekend, and that's also we can decorate before that, but we don't turn on the lights or anything like that. Like it's just ready to go after Remembrance Day.
Right.
You would like that to be December
1st. December 1st or like
end of
like
November.
November 20th or something like that.
Yeah. Whereas usually I'm good. Like I start taking down Halloween. Not necessarily November 1st, but like the next weekend or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then usually shortly after that, I'll start putting out Christmas, but I do it over like a weekend or a little bit over a week, just depending on what's going on. But then I usually have everything kind of set up, ready to go. So after November 11th, the lights go on, and then it's Christmas.
Like, I'm starting to sound like a major Scrooge here, and that's not what I mean. But I prefer a concentrated Christmas season, and
with this like
Halloween doesn't
crazy
have that effect on me.
Okay, I get it. Like you want like complete Christmas submersion for like a few weeks, like, whereas Halloween you can spread out and have a little bit every day.
I'll listen to the Christmas carols. I'll watch the Hallmark Christmas movies.
You actually do,
but like shorter.
Okay, all right. Whereas I can do that for like 6 weeks or 2 months. But Halloween for us, because we were in Disney in August for the first Oogie Boogie, and it was the first of the Halloween season and everything like that. I've just maintained fall and Halloween ever since then. Yeah. So that's okay. So our Halloween season this year is longer than our Christmas season.
Well, that was a long way to say this is why we don't have any news. So Disneyland is actually continuing their many construction projects.
Oh, yes.
But the big one right now is they've actually kind of boarded up the entire railway station at the entrance. Like, the big one.
I'm usually, like, pretty understanding of the construction projects. Like, I get they have to happen. And, okay, yeah, it sucks. Like, even... I love the railway being open and you've seen the trains go by. But I was like, yeah, I get they have to close it for this. Okay. Well, this looks... terrible.
Yeah, so the railroad itself is closed right now, so it makes sense to be doing this, what they're doing with the station now, because they're changing out the track while they're finishing up Critter Country or Bayou Country or whatever, and Splash Mountain, et cetera, so it made sense to have that down, and they have to paint and polish on the railway
Of course.
station every once in a while. And they're getting ready to decorate for the 70th anniversary
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes, they want everything pretty and shiny.
But my goodness, is it an eyesore?
It looks so bad.
That's your first impression, and you can see it like all the way down Main Street, and like you're taking pumpkin pictures. You can see it in the background. It's
pumpkin pictures, and then from the other side, the like Mickey flower pictures.
Yeah.
And I just said, God, I hope they're like cropping out the top.
Better
there,
at more focused in on both of those things.
Yeah,
so.
Close up on the flowers. It looks like normally I'm pretty understanding, and actually when I'm there, I'm generally like, oh yeah, there's walls, but whatever. Like there's stuff everywhere, and it's fine, and there's so many people, whatever. But like this is shockingly bad, and like you said, it might be because it's at the entrance. It also might be like, because every like ambiance picture you take on Main Street is gonna have this in it now. It's just bad.
Very tall, brown, ugly scrims. Like they didn't even make nice. Like hopefully that means it's short, but they didn't make ones that are nice and painted. Like when
that's my optimism. Like when they did the fire hall.
The fire hall that was down for a long time. Like it blended in better.
Anything else on Main Street, they've done that. Like I like you said, I'm hoping this just means it's gonna be a couple weeks and we're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it's just it. This is the one that bugs me. More pleasant news, though. We were watching the Fresh Baked Construction Report, and at the time, they were testing all the audio on Tiana's.
Yeah, that's coming right along.
Sure is.
They've put up a lot. They're starting to put up a lot of extra details and the finishing touches. That's going to be open pretty soon.
Yeah, I know the opening date is November 15th. Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah, that's the official opening date.
They're going to do soft openings for like a month.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be open to cast previews and then probably magic key holders.
That's our fingers crossed for when we're there.
Media, like they do stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be there. You will have seen ride-throughs of it for sure.
Well before opening date.
Well before the 15th.
Well, look at in Disney World, it was like 2-3 weeks even before. And we are, since Disney World opened first, I would anticipate it being even quicker than that. Like, which is nice because we are going to be there shortly before, and we'll actually be leaving the day before it officially opens.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful that it'll actually be opening prior than the official opening date, or at least they'll be doing like magic keys and stuff like that.
We're making an educated wish.
Nice reference. Man, Deadpool is a good movie. We should watch that again.
Oh, it's coming on Disney Plus here soon in October.
Speaking of ads and movies coming to Disney Plus, Inside Out 2.
That also a good film.
Great film, and I keep seeing ads showing up on Disney Plus. So
yeah, I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but that's before Deadpool.
Oh, it's like any day now. It's right away. It's
right away, and officially the highest grossing animated feature of all time by a lot.
By a lot. Yeah. And it's like not just high grossing, like it was really good. Like I know sometimes those things do not coincide. But
Fast and the Furious.
Exactly. But like this was really well done, but also enjoyable.
It was
critics, popular opinion, made a lot of money, just like across the board. Good.
A return to form.
I really think so too.
Because there had been a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, so if you were like waiting to watch it, or you missed it, or you just want to watch it again, like I'm happy to watch this again. That's coming to Disney Plus soon.
That actually reminds me of the news that I saw.
Oh, you did say there was news. Okay, yes.
That it's all well and fine. Inside Out 2 was good, and it's coming to Disney Plus. Like we said, that's positive news. I saw some negative news about it. Right before it came out in theaters, just like after they had wrapped it up and finished it, it was in the can and was ready to release. Pixar made a bunch of layoffs of animators.
Are you serious?
Right after they had crunched and done a bunch of overtime to get it done.
That is so gross.
And they didn't get their bonus paid out because like they get a bonus based on box office returns and stuff.
What?
And they hadn't got one for their last two because they were terrible, right?
Yeah, and then they did Inside Out 2.
And then they all put in all the work. Yeah, so they canned like 250 people or something.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, just really disappointing.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it kind of is. So there's been a lot of labor issues with all companies right now,
that's
and
true.
but Disney's getting a lot of flack for how they treat VFX artists and animators and things like that, and
they rely on them, and like we are generally like, we like Disney stuff clearly, right? But that doesn't mean can't be critical. I'm on the side of creators.
Yeah, I'm on the side of the actual artists that make the stuff, not the heartless business people that get the big bonuses because they wear a suit. That's so disgusting. I heard that and I was like, not
good. I'm glad you remembered that.
Not a big fan. So
no, that bothers me a lot. And Pixar's always such like a, we love things, like it's such a positive seeming part of the company.
Well, they try to,
but like
advertise themselves that way.
Exactly.
Like,
so I think that's why it's
their
good.
Movies themselves are heartfelt, so they give off this aura.
But that's why I think it's important to say like, So I hope they sue or something like that. That's insane. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't
know what their recourse is though. And this is why you need unions, people.
Well,
that's the end of my story.
And unions can be very good depending on the industry and how they're set up. And like depending on what state they're working in, the labor laws are different.
That's true.
There's a lot of right to work states where they can kick you out the door whenever they want.
Man,
for no reason at all. And
it is so interesting watching all this from an out of country perspective.
Yeah, and like Canada's labor protections aren't any great shakes compared to Europe, for example. Either.
That's true. And I was just, I don't want to fall down that rabbit hole, and that's not at all what our podcast or our episode is about. But we just had like I'm a teacher, and we had a lot of announcements. We had a big announcement about Alberta education here this last week, and so I have a student teacher, and I was kind of like trying to explain how like things like that work. And so we were having a little bit of a labor discussion at that point too.
It's an interesting subject,
it sure is,
and people should probably pay more attention to it than they do.
But I also get, and like,
but it's tough.
We literally have a Disney podcast, so okay, but and like your favorite hobby is gaming. I don't know what my favorite hobby is, but I like gaming and books. Like we like escapism stuff is my point, and it's really hard to be like, cool, now let's talk about the depressing political stuff. But you got to pay attention to things you got to pay attention to the people who create those things that we love.
I do like talking politics though too.
I know. Yes. All right. Do we have any other news?
No,
because that was kind of depressing.
That was the one that I couldn't remember, but then I did.
Well, I'm glad you did, because it was like a thing. All right, let's head to the main topic.
What's in the bag?
It's not a head, it's just content.
Oh.
Yeah. Disney A grab bag. We took a while to get to the main topic, but that's okay, because actually it's quite a short topic this week, I think. Okay. So, you know how it's Halloween now?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know how I said we're going to be doing Halloween episodes from now till literally Halloween? Literally. So, many years ago, well, no, but like 4 years ago when we started this podcast. 3 years ago?
It would be 4. It is 2024.
Yeah, we started in 2020.
Yeah.
Or did we start in 2021?
No.
2020?
I don't know.
I know we started during COVID.
Yeah.
Because there was no hockey.
Yeah, it was pretty early in COVID.
Inside Out 2 had so much hockey. It's great.
It did.
We did an episode about Disney villains for Halloween.
Sure.
Yeah, we did. And then our second year...
We've done a few
and then our second year we did like villain sidekicks, and like we've done those kinds of things. And then we usually do something similar at Christmas or whatever. I want to look at Disney villains again, but we're going to look at it in a completely different way. So what I did is I found the historical references for a bunch of Disney villains, and I organized them into categories, and you're going to pick the scariest out of each category.
Oh, okay. This seems complicated, but...
No, it's okay. So basically, like, you're learning something, but also judging.
I like judging.
Yeah. Not so sure about the learning.
We'll see about the learning.
Well, some of these are...
I mean, I like learning.
Yeah.
But, like, when it's a trick, I don't know.
No, it's not a trick.
Yeah.
These guys are tricky, but I'm not tricking you.
Okay.
Some of them are easy. It's just like, what was the inspiration for this character? Or something like that. And some of them are obvious because they're based on, like, traditional fairy tales.
Right.
Okay. So, like, they're going to be really straightforward. But basically, these are just... you know what I did? I found all of these... We're doing this thing at work where it's like, how can you use AI in an effective way? So I found a giant list of villains and then asked it to organize it into categories for me. So I'm going to use those categories.
Oh.
It's all good. You didn't have to do it.
Okay.
Okay. The first villain I have for you is Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you know... so Maleficent is originally from the fairy tale, like just a representation of the fairy tale, designed largely after like the fairy tale women, villain, witch kind of characters, even though she's not really a witch. She didn't even make her a witch list. She was more a sorceress. Which again, we talked last week about how hard it is to classify
She did
witch.
make the witch list. We talked about her, but...
Oh yes, she turns herself into a dragon. That was why. Yes.
Yeah.
Her design was largely based on a pope. And she is our first one on the list for... I have these organized into groups of, I think, 6. And you're going to pick the scariest of 6.
A pope?
Yeah, her... So her... You know how her cape... First of all, it's a very flowy cape, but it has, like, the jagged edges around it. That was based on a, like, painting of this, like, real, like, 16th century religious leader combined with, like, a pope's cape at the time.
Huh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Weird.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
And then done in black because, you know, ravens and scary and...
I just thought it was based on the lead animator's mother-in-law or something.
Got something to say to your mother-in-law there, Brandon?
Said the lead animator's mother-in-law.
Okay.
Not my mother-in-law.
No, I know. No, she was Snow White. We, like, watched... It was a whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have Captain Hook. So Hook was inspired by like any pirate captain figure, but actually the design itself was taken and you can see this when you look at him, Blackbeard. He's black hair and mustache and yeah, and Blackbeard was
no beard though.
No. Well, he does get Smee does shave him. So maybe he generally has a black beard. But sometimes they say, like, they tell stories about how Blackbeard was, like, super vicious, but then he did weird, like, was very concerned with decorum and gentlemanly things in other ways, and I guess they leaned into that a lot with Hook.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Maleficent, we have Hook. Then we have Ursula, who is my favorite villain. Her character design is influenced by the drag queen Divine, which we've talked about before, and basically just designed after any sea witch found in any myth, basically. Yeah. Of course, yeah. They just made her into an octopus. Scar, my favorite trivia, which everybody knows, I'm sure, is that Lion King is Hamlet.
Very loosely.
Very loosely. However, Scar is actually, apparently, resembling more historical figures, especially Shakespeare's interpretation of Julius Caesar. Which I thought was interesting. That was my favorite, did you know? And then we have Hades, of course, based on the Greek god of the underworld. The charismatic one is from different interpretations of Hades, and they basically just tried to modernize him. And then Jafar was embodying different traits of scheming advisors, 1001 Nights especially, but then also he was supposed to be similar to Iago from Shakespeare's Othello, but then they just gave him a parrot and named him Iago instead.
Right.
Which I knew, because they, like, made the character Iago into Jafar, and then were like, but here, let's make it obvious.
Right.
Okay, so of those 6, which one do you think is the scariest? Just to remind you, you have Maleficent, Captain Hook, Ursula, Scar, Hades, or Jafar.
So they're all pretty scary, because they're bad people.
Well, they're not all people either.
Yeah, I guess. People-ish.
One's a lion.
He's like lion people.
Okay.
But I think Jafar is the scariest because he's like clearly a sociopath and like
it's true.
He has you meet people like this in like your day-to-day life all the time, and you gotta watch out for them. Maybe not quite to that extent, but like in a corporate job, you find your fair share of Jafars, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, you know what? I don't disagree with you, because my favorite villains generally, I mean, Ursula's my favorite from this list, but are the ones I think are scariest are the ones who use their intelligence, and that is Jafar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just a slimy jerk out for himself, and
and willing to manipulate the heck out of whomever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, there's he really creeps me out at the whole scene where he tries to manipulate Jasmine to marry him and stuff. Like, it's just creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy when he's trying to use his snake staff on the Sultan, and then he's like, "You will order Princess Jasmine to marry him," and he's like, "I will." Wait, you're so old. Like, his age supersedes it. Okay, and then my second one, I only have two. I thought I had three, but I only have two. We have a mix of old and newer ones here. We have Queen Grimhilda, who is the evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, who's based on the evil queen from the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, but also draws on themes from figures like the biblical Salome, who is known for her vanity and treachery. Do you know who that is?
Not really.
Okay, do you want to know who that is?
Sure.
Because I had to look... I had kind of remembered, but didn't really remember. So Salome is a figure mentioned in the New Testament of the Bible, primarily known for her role in the story of John the Baptist's beheading. So
seems like the opposite of what you'd want.
Exactly. Then it talks about her family tree a little bit, but it says, during a banquet, Salome danced for King Herod, pleasing him so much that he promised to grant her any wish. Coached by her mother, she requested the head of John the Baptist on a platter. It's in the Gospels of Mark and Matthew. Salome is usually portrayed in art and literature as a symbol of seduction and revenge. So you can see those symbols, seduction and revenge. She gets revenge because she's not the most beautiful woman anymore. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Why did Salome want a head on a platter? Or?
Oh, it's because of her family.
Yeah, okay. Weird.
Yeah, she's the daughter of, I can't pronounce it very well, but Herodias, who was the wife of King Herod. Basically, it's like a jealousy thing and a power thing. The people really like John the Baptist. We don't like that because he is gaining power. That's bad. We should probably behead him.
Yeah, I mean, that's... what else are you going to do, right? I guess.
Yes. So Queen Grimhilda, or the evil queen, is number one. Number two, Cruella de Vil.
Ugh.
Cruella is reminiscent of fashion icons and socialites who prioritize style over ethics.
Right.
Basically, the whole thing is a critique of materialism and obsession with status, which is not hard to see in that. Basically, it was like, what if the fashion industry went crazy?
I totally missed that part.
Oh, yeah, that was really subtle, right? And then you have black and white symbolism. Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Exactly. Inspired by the character from Victor Hugo's novel, Frollo embodies the hypocrisy of authority figures and parallels historical figures who abuse their power under the guise of morality. That's a really nice way to say this happens in history all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You probably don't need to go through the rest of the list. He's the worst one.
Do you want me to tell you who's on the rest of the list?
Sure.
Then? Okay, Gaston.
Okay, yeah.
Historical strongmen, warlords, toxic masculinity. Mother Gothel from Tangled, inspired by the witch archetype found in many fairy tales and historical figures who manipulate others for their own gain. Specifically designed after court figures, like behind the shadows. She was a character in Game of Thrones, she'd be the Master of Whispers. And Yzma. Much more recent, but also just general Mod Podge of mythology and literature. Anyone who seeks power through treachery.
Right. Kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Frollo.
Frollo is horrific and also extremely realistic, which is what makes it even more horrifying.
Yeah. Frollo is literally the scariest villain, I think, in all of Disney.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, it's... Ugh.
So, my question then is basically you're going to face off against your top two choices now. Between Frollo and Jafar. I said I was going to vote Frollo as being the scariest. who would you vote?
Yeah,
It's still
that's
Frollo.
what I said.
It's just Frollo across the board.
Yeah.
All right.
At least with Jafar, you kind of know that he's just out for himself.
Right.
Whereas Frollo's like evil to the core, but hypocritical.
Oh, he's so
like
terrible.
He thinks he's righteous, whereas Jafar is like, I don't care, I'm just out for myself.
Yeah. Like you could, if you understood that he was manipulating people and things like that, you could figure him out.
Yeah.
Whereas, but Frollo also uses the morality and the religion.
Yeah,
everything else is just so disgusting.
It's the hypocrisy for me.
Disgusting.
I do not like hypocrisy at all.
I get that. I've always been like really grossed out by Frollo. It's BuzzFeed time.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brandon, which Disney villain are you?
We did that already.
No, this is a different different one.
Okay.
Last week we did which are you?
Which?
Which?
Okay.
And the tagline is, let's face it, princesses are boring.
Yeah, they kind of are. That's true.
Okay, what is your greatest quality? Being manipulative, being sinister, being vain, being sadistic, or being ambitious? Some of these do not seem like great qualities.
Manipulative? Like, it has negative connotation when you say it like that, but like getting people to do what you want
totally
is a skill, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. No. It's like you can manipulate people into a win-win situation.
Totally. You can manipulate people to do things that are good for them.
Yeah. That's so
that's
where I'm going.
I manipulate students to do their work all the time.
Yeah. There you go.
What is your ideal lair?
Ooh, that's a good one.
A castle deep in the woods, a castle on top of a mountain, a palace in a kingdom, out in the wild, or in a cave?
It's gonna be a castle on a mountain.
That's a good place for a lair. Hard to get to.
Yeah.
But you're still in a castle.
Easily defensible.
Yeah.
But
also,
still prominent, so you got like a bunch of
Look at
status.
me. Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you hide your castle in the woods somewhere, it's kind of, I don't know.
I understand.
Big old castle on the mountain.
That's probably the right choice. How would you describe your style? Elegant but powerful, mysterious, beautiful and regal, minimal but still intimidating, or glamorous?
Mysterious? I don't know.
Can also be like the way you carry yourself and things like
Sure.
that. You're a quiet guy. That works. How would you prefer your sidekick? Wisecracking, cunning, insane, sly, or I don't like sidekicks?
Oh no, I want a sidekick.
Yeah, you do. That's the best thing about it.
I want a sly sidekick.
Fair.
You don't want them too cunning, because then they can backstab you.
That's right. You want them like on your side, but like helpful, not just...
And sly, just they seem
not
like they're
just
sneaky
wisecracking or insane. You couldn't even... Yeah. What is the best motivation to be evil? For revenge, to obtain power, out of jealousy, out of pride, or just spite?
Definitely spite. You spite your enemies always. Okay. It's like a petty version of revenge.
Okay. It's not as evil as revenge.
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. Revenge is pretty. But like, no, spite. I'm gonna do this to spite you.
Okay.
I like it.
That's not what I would have expected you to say, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best accessory for a villain can have? A staff, a cauldron, a crystal ball, long robes, or none. You don't need accessories.
No, it's long robes. If I'm in my villain era, I'm rocking the robes for sure.
So you can swoop around corners.
Yeah, oh yeah, you gotta have some dramatic swooping.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Which of these powers is the best? The ability to hypnotize people, the ability to use magic spells, ability to metamorphose. I always want to say metamorphosize, but metamorphose. Being able to put curses on people, or just plain old brute strength.
Obviously magic spells.
Agreed.
Because like that's a
you can do those things if you can do magic spells.
Yeah, you do. Like that's a dumb one.
I concur. When I did it, I also was like magic spells. What is your power color? Gray, gold, black, red, or purple?
I mean, the only power color there is red.
That's incorrect.
Red means power. It's it's
Gold means power.
codified in our culture. Red is power.
And gold and purple. It's got to get your purple back.
Yeah, well, but like literally red is.
Yeah, no, I get it. What is your weapon of choice? A knife or sword? A henchman? No need to get my hands dirty. Magic, of course. Teeth and claws, or transformation?
Well, I said I have spells, so I guess magic.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can also magic up teeth and claws if you wanted to, or I magic up a knife.
I don't want to bite people though.
No, that's fair. I magic up a henchman.
I was tempted by the henchman one
because you don't want to get your own hands dirty.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I get that. Which of these do you hate the most? True love, beauty, family, not being included, those with more power.
Probably those with more power because they're a threat. You know.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. I really enjoyed not being included. Hello, Maleficent.
Yeah.
What is the best way to get back at your enemies? Embarrassing them, putting a curse on them, emotionally manipulating them, emotionally manipulating one of their loved ones, or killing them.
Ooh, well, see, killing them is too quick and
agreed. Like,
you don't get. They're just dead. Like, meh.
Yeah, leaves you empty inside after.
That's useless. I want to say emotionally manipulating one of their loved ones.
That is so mean.
That's like, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, look at this.
That is definitely the meanest of all of these.
Yeah.
Your biggest fear is being left out. Okay, Maleficent. People finding out you've been bad-mouthing them. Someone being better than you in any way. Losing your power over others, or being outsmarted.
Being outsmarted. That would be bad.
It also, never happens to you. Hey, remember how when I asked which witch you were Ursula?
Yeah.
Guess which villain you are?
Also Ursula.
Ursula.
Okay.
And it says, we pity any poor unfortunate soul that messes with you.
Yeah, she's a good villain. She has her stuff together.
She is.
She does. Well, until she doesn't, but.
Well, yes. But she, like you said, she was winning for a long time there. Then again, so was Jafar, who you've also mentioned a couple times.
Yeah.
Is Jafar one of your favorites? You mentioned him twice now.
Yeah, I like Jafar. He's a good villain.
He is, I'm trying to level him up on Disney Dreamlight Valley right now. He keeps pretending that he's turned good, and then he keeps trying to manipulate and mind control people.
Yeah, but that's how he roll.
And so this last time, I was like, if you don't behave, I'm going to put you in a lamp. So there.
Take that.
Anything to add about scary Disney villains?
I'm surprised you didn't have the one dude from Pocahontas. He was a pretty scary villain.
Yeah, Radcliffe. So I had him, and then I also had Chernabog on a list.
Oh, he's cool.
That's why I was like, but it was not an even number, and I know.
The horror.
Radcliffe is also terrifying. Anyone who's realistic to me is really scary.
Yeah.
So I think Radcliffe is really scary. Frollo is by far the scariest. I'm also creeped out by Clayton. Do you know who Clayton is? From Tarzan.
Oh, yeah.
Because he seems like a good guy until he turns around and tries to shoot people. And it's always that Gaston is really creepy to me because he's just a guy, and it's
he is your stereotypical toxic male.
Totally.
And he's less scary because you see so many of them.
Yeah, well, it's still scary because you can run into that. Just Frollo existed and does exist, and all of those.
I just think
Radcliffe.
I think they're fairly easy to deal with. Is all.
As a man, you think that.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas the evil witch doesn't scare me very much. I think they're cool. Is more the thing.
The evil witch.
Yeah, the evil queen or Maleficent or any of those ones. Even Yzma, first of all, is just fun.
Well, yeah, it's played for comedy.
Yeah,
right?
Ursula, any of the evil queen tropes, I'm just they're fun. I like them. But the ones that are realistic are really scary. Genuinely scarier. That doesn't mean I like them more or less. Just means that they're scarier. Probably because you can run into them. But yeah, Radcliffe's a good one. Chernobog's cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen the meme where it's like he wakes everyone up and they have a party, he goes to bed, he's not a demon, he's a DJ?
That's true. Big old party.
Big old party. Yeah, no, Chernobog's cool. So that's our show this week. Thank you, El Mule, who's responsible for the custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website at disneya.wixsite.com/podcast, where you can also find a link to our social media accounts and our email. You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you rated or reviewed our podcast, thank you. And if you haven't yet, please do. Next episode. Oh, that's interesting. Right here, Brandon, I have says, next episode, blind date with Disney. Brandon.
What?
It says, next episode, blind.
No,
See,
no.
look, no.
I heard you. I heard you.
Brandon's going to do a blind date with Disney. But like a different type of blind date with Disney.
A different type. Okay.
Well, last year you had to do a trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Which was excessive.
I don't have time for that.
No, you don't have time for that. But you do have time for.
Yeah.
An episode of a TV show.
Oh, I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we
actually.
did.
Yeah.
That's going to be next episode.
It's slowly coming back.
Yeah, that's
going
to be next episode.
I think I blocked it from my mind.
Yeah, you'll unblock it pretty quickly.
Okay.
So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A.
It's long robes. If I'm in my villain era, I'm rocking the robes for
so you can
sure.
swoop